This Is Going to Hurt, created by Adam Kay himself, captures the raw reality of life as a gynecology and obstetrics ward doctor, and trust me, it's intense. This isn't your typical medical drama with clean-cut procedures and happy endings. Instead, it paints this hauntingly real picture of what it's actually like to be a health professional, constantly fighting an uphill battle. Season 1 recap. The medical drama series is adapted from Adam's own memoir of the same name, and the first season ends with quite the cliffhanger. Adam survives this tribunal investigation that's been hanging over his head, and yeah, his job as an NHS doctor is still intact. But something's changed. A switch has been flipped in his head. He still has to face all the challenges of the medical world head-on, and it really reminds him just how cyclical everything is. Like he's stuck in this endless loop. Season 2 release date. Now, here's the thing. BBC One hasn't actually greenlit the show for a second season yet. But in the best-case scenario, if they do give it the go-ahead, fans can expect Season 2 to come out sometime after 2027. What Season 2 could adapt? So here's something interesting. Season 1 is set in 2006, and it only adapts a chunk of Adam Kay's memoir. The actual book details his experience as a doctor from 2004 all the way to 2010. Adam actually talked about this decision in an interview with Newsweek, saying he chose to focus on a particular time frame so he could really pay close attention to the finer details. You know, the world building, the character development, all that stuff. This means a sequel season could totally pick up on a different period from the memoir and just continue expanding on everything we already know while inventing new details. And while a lot of the book's most iconic moments have already been adapted in the show, there's still a ton of content left to explore. We're talking about equally intense storytelling that would keep us on the edge of our seats. Unresolved plotlines from Season 1. But it's not just about adapting new material. A potential Season 2 could also pick up some of those unresolved threads from the Season 1 finale. Adam managed to keep his job, sure, but his newly awakened consciousness about all the gray areas of the medical system, that could potentially reveal several new angles in the story. On one hand, we can expect him to raise his voice against the injustice that's constantly on display. But at the same time, there's a real chance his psyche will suffer even more damage from here on out. And then there's the whole situation with Harry. While Adam and Harry make their feelings pretty clear toward the end, Adam hasn't fully committed to his love life yet. He's got all these bubbling professional crises to deal with. So if the show gets greenlit for a continuation, we can expect Adam's relationships with his loved ones to take more of a center stage, with complex medical cases still shaping the overall storyline. Season 2 cast. Let's talk about who we can expect to see return. As This Is Going to Hurt really focuses on Adam Kay's life and relationships as a doctor, his ongoing dynamic with the rest of the characters is absolutely central to the narrative. So the next season probably won't see many changes in the cast list. Ben Whishaw, who plays Adam Kay, is the beating heart of the show, so he's definitely expected to reprise his role. And Rory Fleck-Byrne will likely return to play Adam's partner, Harry Muir. There's also a good chance that Alex Jennings and Ashley Maguire might have more prominent appearances in a possible season, as Nigel Lockhart, Tracy, and Vicky Houghton, respectively. Oh, and Al, the rookie in the hospital who was a late introduction to the story, he might even become a main character down the line. So George Somner has a high chance of stepping into that role once again. Major cast departure. Now the biggest change in the cast is definitely the departure of Ambika Maud, who plays Shruti Acharya. Her character died in the penultimate episode of the season, so the actor's journey with the show has most likely come to an end. However, given how significant her character is to the narrative, we can't completely rule out the possibility of her returning through a flashback sequence. As for Hannah Onslow and Rosie Ackerman, who play Erica and Paula Van Hagen respectively, the likelihood of them returning is pretty slim since their character arcs have already been concluded. On the flip side, there's a good chance that some of the supporting characters will shine brighter in a potential second season. Harriet Walter, Alice Orr Ewing, and Tom Durant Pritchard could potentially return to play Veronique Kay, Emma, and Greg, respectively. Adam's emotional journey. Here's where things get really interesting. The original memoir by Adam Kay builds up to this drastic turning point in his journey as a healthcare professional, but the show hasn't confirmed a similar trajectory yet. However, both the memoir and the show share this common, unrelenting critique of the grueling working conditions that Adam endures every single day. That trend is unlikely to stop in a potential season 2, so we can expect Adam to fall even deeper into the rabbit hole. This could lead to several unpredictable psychological developments. He ends the first season with hopes of improving himself and his treatment of his juniors, which is great. But a sequel could focus on the challenges of actually maintaining that positive attitude, especially with the system on the brink of moral and ethical collapse. Whether Adam learns to cope with his struggles in a healthy or unhealthy manner could ultimately determine the course of the story in the future. Relationships and personal life. The show doesn't just explore Adam's life as a doctor, it also digs into his relationships with friends and loved ones. There's Harry, his on and off partner, and then there are his friends Emma and Greg. If the show gets continued, Emma and Greg are likely to venture deeper into the world of parenting, which will leave things even more complicated between Harry and Adam. Here's the tension. Harry wants Adam to give him his complete attention, but he also realizes that Adam is genuinely passionate about medicine and saving lives. That choice and the dichotomy it carries are bound to become the linchpin of their relationship, potentially tipping the story into an even grimmer direction. The hospital crew's future. As for the rest of the hospital crew, Lockhart, Vicky, and the others, a follow-up season might take the form of a test to see whether they bend to the system or rebel against it. With such intense stakes, the role of new blood like Al becomes all the more relevant. Season 2 could really flesh out his stance and how it interacts with the overall story. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.